people, if you don't think you have a problem, you're not going to be searching it for a solution, right? So that was a sort of a key observation, that search is great for harvesting demand, but not creating it. And all these things that we were doing sort of worked really well for established markets, but not for something that people weren't looking for. And we had a pretty good understanding of our users. We were very close to our community, and sort of here's what happens. So you hear from Dropbox from a friend usually, or maybe from a blog. You try it. You realize, oh my God, like I didn't even realize I had a problem, but now I don't have to email myself stuff. I don't have to carry on a USB drive. I don't have to be drowning in email attachments. And the product actually works. The frustration that I had with a bunch of stuff being kind of half done or buggy, we really, really, really tried to be rigorous about making sure that out of 1,000 people that got in the door at Dropbox or that tried the product, that there would only be issues with a very, very small minority with them. And we had a lot of ways of measuring that. And because the median experience with a new product is like hitting the back button, right? Because most things you try them and you sort of never come back, or it sucks, and you just go on to the next thing. Dropbox really resonated with people, and they were sort of unexpectedly happy that here's this problem I didn't even know I had, and now it's solved, and this thing works, and now I'm going to tell all my friends. So around this time, I'd also stumbled across 4 Steps to the Epiphany through Mark Andreessen's blog, and I think Steve Blank's explication of what different market types are sort of really set some of these things in context, like why the deliberate things we were doing on the marketing side were failing, yet we were finding that empowering users to spread the word about Dropbox was really successful. So just bear in mind that if there's already an existing market for what you're making, your tactics can be way different from if you're going into an entirely new category. So armed with that knowledge and tired of getting our asses kicked on the paid acquisition side, we decided, okay, our users, we have a ton of happy users. Instead of trying to make display ads or other things or search, why don't we just give people tools to do what they're or better tools to do what they're already doing as far as spreading Dropbox around. So sort of the hallmark thing that we did was what we call our referral program. Basically, if I tell you about Dropbox, you get an extra 250 megabytes of space. I get an extra 250 megabytes of space. It's kind of like a typical referral link kind of behavior, except that both sides are rewarded. So it doesn't feel, one thing that was really frustrating about sort of seeing referral links on the web is you sort of felt like you were being used. Anytime your friend's like, hey, check this out, and it's has this really spammy looking referrer code on the end. But if both parties benefited, people found it a lot better. And this was also inspired by back in the day, you could get $5 from signing up for PayPal with a couple of tweaks. We were also really fortunate to cross paths with Sean Ellis really early on, and he sort of reassured us that it was okay to be doing what we're doing and have start with a very kind of quantitative focus on the fundamentals of how you reach users and how much you pay to acquire a user and lifetime value. And one of our early hires was someone who did nothing but analytics. So there are all kinds of different things that he sort of got us pointed in the right direction, which was really fortunate. One of the first full-time hires was an analytics engineer, and that paid off a lot because we could do all these split tests. And I encourage all of you, if you're in a consumer internet business, to sort of look at the playbook of different things that are out there. Between social gaming and sort of anything that's grown really quickly, you should sort of always in the back of your mind be thinking, okay, well, what specifically did they do to make that happen? So how does landing page optimization work? How does SEO work? How do all these different things? Because all these little victories in the margins add up to big gains in the long run. So the referral program was phenomenally successful. So in the trailing 30 days, the stat I pulled today is that our users have sent 2.8 million invites, direct referral invites, and that number keeps going up. And so again, we were fortunate to go from 100,000 users to the last published numbers is 4 million in January. And again, it's from these word of mouth and viral efforts that we're doing between the referral program and the viral features in the product, like shared folders and so on. And the result is that we've had between 15 and 20% month-over-month growth since launch, just by that change in strategy to empower our users to spread the word. So with that, I'll wrap up. I know we're running behind, so I won't recap everything, but happy to take any questions. Thanks. All right. Should I just pick at random? Or does the mic come around? All right. Yep. Sure. So there are a bunch of things I want to talk about in my talk and only a little bit of time, so I left out some other kind of cool things that we've done. But on the product management and sort of listening to our users front, one of the cool things we did was sort of this thing we call Votebox, and I guess I don't have time to pull it up, but basically it's kind of like dig for features that you want in Dropbox. So everybody gets 10 votes, and if you're a paid customer, you get more than that. But you can either see the top requested features and then vote for them, and then that affects how we prioritize them. And it's just been a really successful way to kind of have our users engaged and the whole community engaged in what we work on next and to reduce volume. Am I missing it? Okay, there we go.
When you started investing in analytics,
Yep.
what kind of metrics did you focus on, and did that evolve over time?
So the question is, what kinds of metrics did we track, and how did that evolve? So we tracked some of the basic kind of vanity metrics like registered users and things like that. And we send those details out to everybody on the team and everybody on the board every day. So there are key stats that kind of drive the business around conversion, user numbers, activations. I'm a big fan of this thing that Dave McClure created called Startup Metrics for Pirates. And so I encourage all of you to Google that and check it out if you haven't already. It's this analytical framework by which I drive the business. It's basically acronym AARRR. So it's customer acquisition, activation, meaning like start getting people from the front door to a gratifying experience with your products, referral, revenue, and retention. And again, if you don't just want to optimize one of those things, you want to optimize all of them because the math works out that if you get a ton of people at your front door, if you don't have a way of retaining and you're capturing that interest and retaining those users or getting them to convert, your effort's wasted. So yeah, startup metrics for pirates. I'm a big fan. All right, last question. One left. All right.
It sounds like you had to adjust your marketing strategy to figure out the community was really powerful for you. But do you have to pivot at all with your product? Have the right idea from the beginning?
So the question is, do we have the right idea for the product from the beginning? So I definitely think that what we had in mind, again, because we were designing for ourselves, the hope was just that, we're making the thing that we want. We just hope that other people also want it. So I would definitely say that we've changed our priorities, or the order of operations and the order of things that we've gone after has definitely been different. But we were definitely lucky in that the first thing that we set out to make actually did resonate with users very early on. All right, great, thank you.